Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the latest generation for the Jeep Gladiator. This is a Sport S, and as you can tell, it has been heavily modified. This has around $20,000 worth of upgrades and features, and we'll also go over the MSRP once we go over the specs and features, and for this particular model, going over all of the additional costs for these products. So let's start off with what powers this specific model. So in order to gain access to the engine bay, you simply just remove these tabs on both sides, and then right in the middle we have that latch. So for this model, it has the 3-liter EcoDiesel V6 paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 260 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. Very beneficial with the size of these tires. Now this is rear-wheel drive with the 4-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. That is the factory curb weight. Of course, with all the components, that curb weight is going to be much higher. 0 to 60 for the EcoDiesel is just over 7 seconds, and then we really don't need to touch base on MPG because you're buying this for the looks of it and the functionality for hopefully taking this off-road and doing what it is built to do. So let's move on to the exterior styling now, where you'll see everything is aftermarket. We have a very stubby and short front bumper there to really give this pretty much the best approach angle that you could ask for. You have no obstructions, a little bit with that winch there, but with the front tires, you can climb pretty much straight up anything. There's fog lights in there. Headlights, of course, are tucked away. And then we have some cutouts in that whole one piece there. This even still retains turn signals up front. They are very, very tiny. You would be able to see those a little bit better at nighttime. And just from the front end, look at this presence. Such a huge Gladiator. We have a hood scoop up top. Those are the bump stops for the windshield. If you choose to fold that down, it can rest and not damage any of the paint or anything like that. And this truck has a 4-inch lift kit. It looks like it has the Fox suspension and all of those components. With the 38 by 15.5-inch tire, it is wrapping a 20-inch wheel, probably 10, 11 inches wide, maybe even wider than that. And you can see the fender arches are powder coated just like the grille, have a really nice design to them, and that powder coat makes its way all the way to the rear fender arches. Now for the regular Gladiator, this has the 3-piece hardtop roof, which is very easy to take off, of course, along with the doors. So they are removable. And then being a lifted SUV or lifted truck, we have the amp power side steps to really help you easily enter and exit. From the side, has a really good look to it. These fender arches are very massive for the rear. This has a high clearance exhaust, so that way it is tucked up nicely out of the way. Steel rear bumper, backup camera, sensors are in that bumper too. And this even has remote start. So if we lock this, we can double tap that button and fire it up. You can also use that button to shut it off if you need to. And then we can unlock it and take a look at the bed space. So this has the soft opening tailgate. Seems like a smaller size bed, but still very usable for having a open bed like this. There's tie-down hooks and some cargo lights, so you can use those as needed. You'll see the third brake light just above that release handle as well. And then as we move on to the interior, you saw a sneak peek already. We do have it locked. You do not have a button on the back door handle, so you do have to unlock it from there. But the door panel is just like you would see in a normal Gladiator. We have storage, we have the grab handle to take the door off, and it is pretty simple from there. Here is where we have the customization with the 2-tone leather seats, red with the white accents to match this exterior. And then you'll also notice the Gladiators have storage up underneath. We have the winch control in there right now, but this bin goes all the way to the other side, and you even have an area where you can store all of the bolts for the doors as well as the windows, windshield. You have a few areas there, so that way you can keep track of those. Now at 5'10", with that grab handle and side step, it's very easy to enter. I have plenty of room. There's storage pockets, air vents, window controls, and cup holders too. And then this has the roll bar running across it with 2 speakers. The dome lights are right in the middle. And we have the manual adjusting rear glass, so you can open and close that as needed. And it's very open for your backseat passengers. Up front, you will notice the door panel has lock and unlock along with the side mirror adjustments, a lot more storage, and then that same grab handle to easily remove the door. And the front seats are all manual, so we have that recline, incline, height adjustment, and the bar to move it forwards and backwards. As we jump up into this Gladiator now, let's fire it back up so we can hear that diesel come to life. And as we look at the gauge cluster now, the tach as well as the four-wheel drive system are on that left side. Right side is the miles per hour. And then right in the middle, you can also go through a lot more vitals. You can see right now we have all these temperatures that you can adjust or you can visualize here, so that way you can keep an eye on everything. You can also pull up the pitch and the roll as well as the drivetrain there for off-roading. You can look at your MPG, which is pretty much thrown out the window with this type of vehicle. There's trip information as well as your engine start stop. You can go into your music, pull up any messages that you may have, and then under a screen setup, you can actually adjust what you would like to see. So currently it's showing the compass as well as the outside temperature. So you can adjust those just depending on what you would like to have in front of you. Now for the steering wheel, it's finished off in solid leather. We have all the cruise control settings, Bluetooth and voice commands, and then those arrows that I was using. On the back side too, there's volume and tuning, so you can adjust the radio as needed. On this left side, all the headlight, fog light adjustments, dimmer switches too. And you'll notice the entire dash has more of the red. Very nice accent. There's a little bit of storage space up top. You can see a mount right there for a phone currently, and then a speaker in both corners. Right in the middle, we have the touchscreen system where you can go through all of these. Of course, there's navigation. You have some apps that you can go into as well, just to set everything up the way that you would like to, as well as all of these settings. So it is a very easy system to use, to be able to go through. Underneath that, we have 3 rotary knobs. There's volume and power along with the fan speed, and then tuning on that right side. Temperature adjustments are on both sides. You have where you'd like the air to go. Of course, you can just push on the diagrams up top to set that up as needed. And then you have some recircs on both sides. Now underneath that, there's mute for the audio as well as the engine start stop, traction control. There's also this downhill assist control / cruise control for off-road. You do need to be in 4-wheel low in order to activate this, and basically what it will allow you to do is to go downhill, of course, without touching the brake, and you can even accelerate uphill without touching the gas. You can use the shifter to adjust the speed that you would like to go to, and I believe it starts right around half a mile an hour or so, and then you can go up from there very slightly. So you can use that, which is awesome to have. You can even turn that upper screen off if you don't want any distractions. And underneath that, we have all the window adjustments. This does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You do have to be connected in order to activate that. There's a 12 volt, and then this model has all of these aftermarket light switches for the exterior lighting. Now the shifter on the left is for the 4-wheel drive system. So if I pull it all the way back, that is for 4 low, so you can go through all of that. And then we have the regular shifter where you can see the backup camera up here in reverse, and then we have the shifting like I just mentioned. Now behind that, there's the manual parking brake, 2 cup holders with enough space to place a phone right in the middle. And then underneath the armrest, we have the smaller bin up top, and then the larger bin down below with some more auxiliaries so you can charge electronics. The glove box has a decent amount of space. You have a grab handle for your passenger too. This one has an aftermarket tray in there, so that way it doesn't go all the way through. You can place some items there as needed. And with that 3-piece hardtop roof, it's very easy to take off. You simply just pull these 4 tabs on the driver's side. You have 4 on that passenger side too. You do have to remove the driver's side first, then you can remove the passenger side. And if you choose to do so, you can remove the entire rear section from there. And visibility is very easy to see all around. But now let's see what it's like to drive this monster of a Gladiator. And we'll give it another acceleration. With ease, we're up to the speed limit. Very impressive, not even half throttle, not even quarter throttle. This has a lot more potential to it with the engine choice for this model. But here's what it looks like to drive around in a very modified and lifted Gladiator. We sit so high up in this, and for a price right around $40,000, with this one being on the used market, of course, with all the modifications, it's closer to the $50,000 mark. But you are getting a very well-built Gladiator where you can just hop in it and go. You don't have to worry about doing all these parts. You can just buy it as is, which is very, very cool. Some people just want to buy it like it is and go from there. But sitting behind this, just like any other Gladiator, minus some of the customization there. And it's a little bumpy. You know, solid front axle is going to absorb bumps differently than the independent front suspension setups, but with how this is set up, the articulation that you will be able to get with that solid front axle, I hope whoever buys this tests it out and takes it off the pavement, because this is a very capable truck as it sits. I love the fact too that the backseat room is fairly roomy for a mid-sized truck like this. It offers plenty of space and storage, so this would make for a great daily driver. Now, saying daily driver and MPG, not really going to go in the same sentence for this style of vehicle, but if you were buying something like this, you're not even, MPG's not even on your radar. When I lift my vehicles and throw on larger tires, it is what it is, because I want to enjoy the truck and taking it off-road and doing modifications like that. So if you're worried about the MPG, probably not the best buy. And so we'll do another mild acceleration to end today's video. So once again, a huge shout out and thank you to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this truck for me today. Check out their website. That link is down in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.